showed this path that we're on right now. It really spoke to that. And it, they had the idea that it would be really until 2025.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't think I can resist 3 more years.
I know. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine how we keep kind of sustaining ourselves through all of this.
Yes.
What?
Crazy.
I was hoping it would not be until 2025, but it just seems like we just cannot get out from under it. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Ash. So for everyone that's already joined us, good morning, happy Thursday. Welcome to our January 13th Ivcn monthly meeting. I'll give it just one more minute for more folks to show up, and then we will get started. I will put on the chat the link to the agenda, just in case you don't have that in front of you. But it's really a very regular agenda. We're just doing updates from everybody. And we do have a little bit of time at the end, as always, for any burning issues, and really do invite us to think about any other conversations that we might want to be having, given how many things are happening for all of us right now. So we've got a pretty good crew already. So let me just begin. Give me 1 second. Beginning with the welcome and the land acknowledgement. And so again, for anyone that is just coming to us for the first time, this is the Isla Vista Community Network meeting that happens once a month. Great opportunity to talk about all things Isla Vista. And my name is Diana Collins Fuente. I serve as the co-chair for the Ivcn meetings. And as always, invite you, if you would like to also serve as a co-chair for Ivcn, to let me know. Always looking for somebody else to do this work together. So to begin with, we would like to acknowledge that this meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Chumash people and pay our respects to elders, both past and present. We honor the traditional territory, as well as the story and contributions of the Chumash people to the land upon which we gather and create. And with that, let us begin with our introductions and any brief announcements that folks have. So Viviana, I see you at the top of my list, so I will start with you and then Jonathan next.
Okay. Hi, Viviana Marzano, Director of Civic and Community Engagement, Isla Vista Liaison and Senior Advisor to Campus Orgs. So in terms of UCSB, in terms of events, the policy for student affairs is that we cannot have events of more than 25 people. And in terms of food, only prepackaged food. So we had a lot of room reservations for the quarter, and so they have been canceled left and right, and some students are rescheduling, but there are a lot of students who have decided to not do anything and wait until we are generally in person, finally in person.
Thank you so much, Viviana. And next, Jonathan, and after that, Shannon.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan. I'm the General Manager for Isla Vista Community Service District.
Thanks, Jonathan. And Shannon, followed by Lenny.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shannon Sweeney. My pronouns are she, her. I currently serve as the External Vice President for Local Affairs of Associated Students, and I'll do my updates during the AS section of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shannon. And next, Lenny, and then Joan.
Lanny Ebenstein, I'm a lecturer at UCSB and also a member of the board of the IVCDC.
Good to see you. Thank you. Joan, and then Gina.
Joan Hartman, 3rd District County Supervisor.
Gina Fish,
Gina Fisher, Office of 3rd District County Supervisor Joan Hartman. And this is our last meeting with you.
Gosh, thank you so much. And next, Ash, and then Ariel.
Hello, I'm Ash. I'm here as an individual today. I'm on the Rec and Park Board and involved in some other things. A quick announcement for Eco Vista is we have a General Assembly meeting at noon tomorrow. Check.
Great. Thanks, Ash. Ariel, followed by Joanna.
Hi, my name is Corporal Ariel Bournet with the UCSB Police Department. I'm a part of our community outreach team. I actually do have a few announcements. I haven't been here in a while. I apologize. Are we still on the agenda?
Yes, you are.
All right, then I'll save it.
Perfect. Thanks, Ariel. Joanna, and then Jay.
Hi, Joanna Hill, UCSB Health and Wellness. Just a couple announcements. One, we've moved locations. So we were physically located in student health, and now we are physically located with my friend Viviana in the student resource building, co-located with the Women's Center. So that's kind of big, exciting news for us. Lots more opportunities, hopefully, for wellness services, just kind of drop in wellness services. So I'm excited about that. And I have a confession, and I'm not sure who to even direct this to, but as I was moving, I found a bag full of, it's not that exciting, Deanna, don't get too worried. I'll save the juicy stuff for later, but I found a big bag of safety Isla Vista stickers that are like reduce theft, and they were from probably 10 or 15 years ago, and we were all, I'm sure, supposed to distribute them, and I know we distributed a lot of them, but I'm just wondering if there is a place that I can take those, that they'll continue to be, there's nothing about them that's old, but if there's a place that I could, Pardell Center, thank you. Yeah, and I was thinking maybe CSO as well. If they still have those stations in Isla Vista, safety stations. Okay, thank you. Sorry, it's my confession.
Great. Thank you, Joanne. And yes, those safety stations, I think, are still happening Fridays and Saturdays, if I'm not mistaken, at Little Acorn Park with the CSOs. And Shannon said would be great at the safety station and definitely the Perdal Center. Perfect. Thank you. And next we'll go to Jay, followed by Mia.
Hello, my name is Jay Freeman. I'm on the board of the Isla Vista Community Service District, as well as the Local Agency Information Commission. Though I'm representing neither of those parties here today, I'm only here in my personal capacity. One thing I'm curious about is whether anyone has reached out to the 2nd District in order to get somebody to start appearing at this meeting. I finally realized I should maybe text Ethan, but I don't know if there's been like a more like
absolutely we.
Yep, I handed off my manual yesterday.
Yes, and Shannon?
Yeah, I emailed Greg last night about coming to this meeting. He said he wasn't available, but he'll probably try to have someone at future meetings. So I'm going to send him the schedule and hopefully get him on the mailing list as well.
Thanks, Jay. Next, Mia, and after that, Luis.
Hi, my name is Maya. I am the Community Spaces Program Manager for the Isla Vista Community Center. I am part of the Community Service District, and I wanted to introduce myself and introduce the building because we are accepting reservations. So I'm just here to see what we can offer you.
Beautiful. Welcome, Maya. Congratulations on your new position. Excellent. And Luis, and then Ruth.
Luis Valerio, Recreation Coordinator for the Isla Vista Recreation Park District, and I'll report out later on the agenda.
Thanks, Luis.
Hi, everyone. Ruth Garcia Guevara. I'm the Interim Assistant Director for Community Affairs, working with associated students. So I'll just wait for the AS update and see if there's anything else I would add to that. Nice seeing everyone.
Great. Thank you, Ruth. Next, we'll do Leah and then Anna.
My name is Leah. I am the district manager for the pharmacy, just here to listen, learn, and help out where I can.
Thank you. Welcome. Anna and then Lisa.
Hi, everyone. This is Anna from IB Arts at UCSB, and I'd like to announce that our Word magazine should be coming out in Isla Vista soon, and look for some interesting articles on the housing situation at UCSB, and also a really interesting feature on the canners that's in Spanish and in English this time. So nice to see you all.
That is great to hear, Anna. Thank you. Is that also available digitally?
Yes, it will be on Issue soon. I'll grab you guys a link and put it in the chat.
Beautiful. Thank you. Wonderful. Did I miss anyone in the intros? No? Okay, fantastic. Then we can just move on to our regular updates, starting with the 3rd District Supervisor's Office.
Deanna, I'm always amazed how you can not repeat anybody and keep that straight, all the introductions. The board met on Tuesday, the first meeting of the new year. A lot of the first meeting is devoted just to business of the board. So we elected a new chair and vice chair that rotates. So it's rotated to the 3rd district and the 1st district. So I'm the chair and Supervisor Williams is the vice chair. He'll be the chair next year. Then a lot has to do with committee assignments. We had an item on the A agenda, though, that's of some interest, and that is in Goleta, we are purchasing with the city of Goleta a motel that for the homeless that'll be 60 units. So this is part of Project Home Key. So I told you last time the county has made addressing homelessness one of its top themes for focusing with the recovery money. So this is very exciting. And, you know, with the Hedges House of Hope and this, we're really making a dent in the housing needs for South County and particularly Ivy and Goleta. Coming up on the 1st is a community workforce agreement. This is something that the unions would like county projects over a certain amount to guarantee a kind of a pre-contract called a workforce agreement. So that'll be on the 1st, as well as my big initiative, the Recreation Master Plan. So some important things coming up. And Gina, did you have anything to add? Probably about COVID.
I will add quickly the motel that Supervisor Hartman mentioned. And can everybody hear me? Sometimes I get too far and you can't hear me. It's muffled, and then I have to get really close to everyone. The motel in Goleta that the county is jointly purchasing, that'll be permanent housing. So it'll be forever apartments for folks that will end up living there, which is really exciting. I'm trying to find the date, and a very upcoming meeting, there will be an item before the board to name what we've all been referring to as the Hedges House of Hope in Isla Vista. So it's not officially got that name yet. The county needed to adopt a naming policy for buildings. And so we, Supervisor Hartman really urged the CEO's office to pursue that with the goal in mind that we can name the that property that I think we're all probably familiar with, the Hedges House of Hope. So if I can find what meeting, I'm not seeing it on the long range, but I do know it might even be this upcoming meeting. I will put that in the chat, and if I can't confirm it by the time this meeting's closed, I'll email Deanna. We don't need public comment or anything, but it's such a feel-good item, and I think we're all longing for something feel-good right now, that you'd be encouraged to write a letter of support to the Board of Supervisors if you want, and I think that would mean a lot for his family. And yeah, so the other thing is COVID. I mean, the positives, as I'm sure you all know, it's almost vertical. So far, hospitalizations haven't skyrocketed, but they're projected possibly to. So it's just a really scary time right now with Omicron and how fast it's spreading. And so if anybody has specific questions, we can try to answer.
Thank you, Gina. Are there questions about COVID for the county?
Or any other questions?
Not a question, but just a statement that the county is having clinics in Isla Vista for booster shots, Tuesdays and Thursdays for the rest of January.
I think it's Tuesdays and Fridays. And they're 10 to 4 p.m.
And Shannon, I think you might even have a graphic, right?
Yeah.
For that?
So yeah, I can send it in the chat. I have a Canva link, but student health made a graphic, but I made one that's kind of more clear that it's like for community members as well, and also the graphic in Spanish. So I can send that in the chat so everyone has it. And they will probably be taking walk-ins towards the end of the day at the clinic.
Yeah, and just as you probably all know, when you're vaccinated, the symptoms are less. And there's, I think it's a 2.7 difference. You're 2.7 times more likely to be hospitalized if you're not vaccinated as if you are. So it's really important to encourage people to get vaccinated and get their booster shot.
I will say two last things. Today, I believe, is the day that the new maps do take place. So the Isla Vista will, for the first time in county history, be in the 2nd district, and the current 2nd district supervisor is Greg Hart. And so I have full confidence that he and his staff will pick right up and start participating in these meetings. So they have a lot of experience. Ethan Bertrand, who a lot of you are familiar with, is on his staff. And two of his other staff members are Gaucho alum. So have a lot of experience. So that will be pretty seamless. And then the last thing I thought might be worth interest to this group is that on the Tuesday, February 8th Board of Supervisors meeting, Exxon Mobil interim trucking item permit issue will be before the Board of Supervisors.
I have a couple of questions for you. One is in terms of Supervisor Hart beginning to take on this role. I think that you mentioned, I think Joan, at the last meeting, that you're hoping to be able to maybe share in those responsibilities for some period of time so that we don't lose you right away. Want to hold on?
Well, we are, Gina and I and our whole office is available to make this transition as smoothly as possible. We were scheduled to have lunch today to talk about this very thing. It turns out that Supervisor Hart is now announced yesterday that he's running for the assembly seat. So exactly how that plays into IV, I know that he is highly responsible and will continue his duties as supervisor even as he runs for the assembly. But it is, he's got more on his plate now to manage, but he has very experienced staff. So so we're going to, support his efforts in the transition fully. And I think you're going to be really happy with the people that represent him.
Thank you so much for that, Joan. And I'm seeing it, of course, on the chat already, folks, again, just conveying their appreciation for your time in this office and for your support of Ivcn and the Isla Vista community.
I wouldn't have thought to look. Thanks for reminding me to look at the chat. Yeah, I as I think about it, I'm the CSD is up and running. Rec and Park District has a strong board, and they're doing really great things. We have more money now coming to the community center. We got the community center open, and there's a grant, and then the county with ARPA money designated more to do work at the community center. So you're going to see additional improvements there. And then what we all did together with the homeless encampments and the pallet houses and the Houses Hedge of Hope, the Hedges House of Hope. Get that mixed up. Too many H's. And we're actually taking that model to Lompoc, where it began. We refined it in IV, and now we're planning to go back to the river in Lompoc and take some of the lessons we learned here. So I'm proud of what we've done together. Had more things working with health and wellness and harm reduction efforts, but I'm sure those will be carried on. So it's been a pleasure for Gina and me. This group has really served to anchor us in Isla Vista, and its long history and all that you do to kind of keep, you're the glue that kind of keeps the community together as a whole. So this work is really important. So thanks for allowing us to be part of it.
Can I add one other thing related to the Hedges House of Hope? This is such a big deal. The supervisors had voted to allocate millions of dollars for the ongoing operations and to secure the building, but the county did apply for a tranche of funding, and a couple of weeks ago were awarded just under $7 million from the state through Project Home Key. So what that means is that that money that the county anticipated can be shifted for other homeless services and procurement of building. We got another $7 million grant into the community of Isla Vista. And so we're really proud of our record. There's street lighting improvements. Remember the Pardall stoplight partnership. Yeah. Our first on week 3, when Joan took over as supervisor and became chair of the board at the same time, there was the biggest bluff collapse in Isla Vista history. And yet we still were able to support the IVCSD, get their supported their self-governance, helped get them off the ground, got office space for them to rent in Isla Vista. We oversaw the completion of the community center and the opening of that and the operations of that. We opened the shared mobility industry into Isla Vista, got coastal access improvements and safety improvements for all the entrances to the beaches. We sponsored self-defense workshops, and then helped open the counseling space in partnership with the IVCSD for survivors of sexual assault in IV. And so the list, and restorative justice programs through the Foot Patrol. So it really is a lot. It might not feel like a lot. Got library services up and running in IV. And so
one of the other things we didn't hope to see is get the Foot Patrol on e-bikes.
Yeah, so there is a list I handed off to the 2nd District of ongoing or incompleted projects. So
thank you so much for that recap, Gina. That's great to see all that has happened in such a short period of time, really. Spencer, you got your hand up.
Yeah, hi everyone. I just wanted to briefly say a very big thank you to Supervisor Hartman and Gina and everyone in your office for all of the work that you've put in over the last 4 years. You know, I had the chance to talk with a couple of IV alumni yesterday. There was a book signing at the food co-op, and we were kind of reflecting about how things have changed in Isla Vista, especially with our relationship with the county. We're more plugged into what's going on with the county, and I think more supported than any time ever. I don't say this from experience. I just say this from being having a keen eye for the history and how things have changed. And that's really in large part due to your relentless work and advocacy for our community. And we're going to miss you so much. But we know that it won't be a goodbye because we know that you'll still have the affinity for us, just as we do for you and all the work you put in. Just wanted to say a huge thank you.
Well, thank you. And I mean, it can't be overstated. From the county perspective, you need capable local partners to work with. If you go into a city where there's a council that, there aren't partners there isn't the capacity there, you can't do much. And so having the network, having the CSD, having the Rec and Park District, and working with different parts of the university, including AS, really highly capable partners. And so that makes all the difference. So right back at you.
Thank you so much, Joan. And Gina, thank you both. I did have one last question, just in terms of the 3rd District. Trying to find out, I know that one of the concerns, obviously everywhere right now, has been about access to testing. And of course, the university is doing that quite a bit for the students. I'm wondering if you have any insight or thoughts about what testing is going to be looking like in these next few weeks and months throughout this area.
Gina, do you want to take that?
Yeah, we don't know months. I have no insight into. A lot of folks here might be familiar that there was a testing site at Goleta Valley Community Center, and it closed on December 30th. And that was a state-run site, and actually County Public Health kept it going a month longer than it was slated to go for. At the Tuesday Board of Supervisors meeting, Dr. Von Del Reynoso mentioned that they had begged and pleaded with CDPH to get another site back. And so we do expect in the next week and a half, another site to reopen on the South Coast to increase testing. I will try to pull up, she had a slide, she presented a slide of basically a snapshot of all the public testing that's available in our county right now. So that wouldn't include UCSB or any kind of private providers, healthcare providers or whatnot that are providing testing. So everyone needs access to testing. We're at this exceptional moment yet again. There will be some more testing coming. I think to the tune, Joan, do you recall if she was able to indicate how many more tests would come back when the new site on the South Coast reopens? I don't think there was a number attached to it.
I don't remember that, but something that's come in just this morning, Gina, you may not have seen it. It's Public Health is working to make take-home COVID antigen test kits available throughout the community. So we anticipate that we're working with our Office of Emergency Management to get these out to community organizations that can distribute them. So that won't be, that isn't, those are home tests. They aren't, you don't have to go to the community center or somewhere else, but we need organizations to help us deliver them, get them into the hands of people. So we're in the process of identifying in each community those organizations.
Deanna, how about, I'm going to try to find this, just if you want to share on the email with the network, out of that, just so people can put their minds around the numbers. And then the second thing, when I get the information, I'll wait to send that when I get the information about the Hedges House of Hope and get the date confirmed for that, just so that this community knows about those two things of interest.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. Are there any additional questions for 3rd District? Beautiful. Well, again, thank you. And before we move on to the next update, some folks did join us after introductions. So I want to just take a small step back and invite them to introduce themselves. We have, and I'm sorry, Lisa, you were there and I missed you. Lisa Oglesby, followed by Lisa Osborne.
Oh, it's the power duo of Lisa O's. Hi, everyone. Lisa Oglesby, Isla Vista Food Co-op Board of Directors. Nice to see everyone happy and healthy. Happy New Year.
And I'm Lisa Osborne, News and Public Affairs Director at KCSB Radio. And Joan and Gina, we're going to miss you, but maybe we can have our Inside Isla Vista reporter talk to you for a recap of your time in IV. And I know you're not going away, but thank you for all that you do for us. And it's great to see everyone. Happy New Year.
Such a great idea, Lisa. Thank you. And then moving on to Kim and then Omari.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Kim Equinoa, she, her pronouns, and I work at UCSB's Dean of Students office.
Thank you, Kim. Omari and then Lori.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new year. Omari Pryor, UCSB's Alcohol and Drug Program, and I also supervise Life of the Party. Thanks again.
Thank you, Omari. Lori and then John.
Hi, I'm Lori Goodman. I'm the Executive Director of the Isla Vista Youth Projects. And just apropos of the testing, we have already been in touch with Public Health about getting those at-home tests for community members who really don't have any other way to get them. We don't know when we'll receive them, but once we do, we'll be able to get them out.
That's wonderful, Laura. You have such a reach with so many families in this area. That's so critical. Thanks for that update. And then John and Spencer, I don't think you actually introduced yourself even though you spoke. So I'll answer to you at the end. So John and then Spencer.
Hi, everyone. I'm John Foran, CEO of Eco Vista. Just kidding. We don't have CEO. I'm a member of the 5-person core co-organizing team. Nice to be here with you all. Peace back.
Thank you so much. Then we'll go to Spencer and then Jackie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Spencer Brandt, the president of the Isla Vista Community Services District Board. Happy New Year. Great to see you all.
Thank you, Spencer. And Jackie, and I think that is everyone, but if I have not called on you after Jackie, please do let me know. Jackie.
There we go. Trying to unmute. So sorry. Hi, Jackie Curda, representing UC Santa Barbara Student Health. I direct the alcohol and drug program, and Happy New Year, and hope all of you are doing well.
Thank you so much, Jackie, and Happy New Year again to everybody. Spencer, did you just went up, sorry. See, just when they said we have this nailed down, it gets confusing again. Okay, perfect. Then we are moving on to Associated Students update. Shannon.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to touch on a couple more things about the vaccine clinic I mentioned earlier. I also have flyers printed out, so if you just message me in the chat and I'm probably going to drop them off today and tomorrow, I can come drop off some flyers anywhere in IV. I said I have English and Spanish, so we can get those out there, and I'll also be going around and hopefully putting them up in some businesses in IV. The clinic has all 3 vaccines, and you can get like any single shot you want. It's not just a booster clinic. The next thing I wanted to talk about was, currently UCSB is remote, so that is very much impacting kind of what Associated Students is doing, especially with events in IV. I don't know if anyone from IVCRC is here. I don't think I saw anyone.
I don't think so.
But I know they pushed back their Pardal Carnival. They were going to do it in February, but now I think they're looking to do it on Earth Day, and kind of collabing with the Environmental Affairs Board to do like kind of a joint festival in Isla Vista. So that's something to look forward to, but it is getting pushed back with the rising case numbers. And that's kind of the same for a lot of the events Associated Students is planning or had been planning. Either groups are adjusting their format of their events to be like kind of more hybrid, or just like a smaller amount of individuals actually in person and doing some part of components on Zoom, or just doing all remote, or pushing them back until when hopefully it's safer, but like there's no guaranteeing things like that. And I think a lot of AS organizations are still looking for some more clarity from the university, but there is that 25-person event policy. We do have the cloth masks coming in. However, I think I don't know, I've been seeing it everywhere that they're not as protective as the N95. So we're looking to order the N95 filters. And the company actually just got back to me. So hopefully we'll have those in and we can start distributing those 2 together. The filters to put inside the masks as well. And then my office will be putting out a survey on rent in Isla Vista. And so the survey will just kind of be for tenants of Isla Vista and kind of just mapping out pricing around Isla Vista. We're going to email that out to students next week. Depending on how COVID is later in the quarter, hopefully maybe do some door-to-door component to get it out to other community members to talk about rent in Isla Vista. But hopefully I can send that everyone's way so we can get that out as much as possible and really get a good idea of, I guess, where rent is at in Isla Vista. That is really all I have for now. I'll open up to questions, and if no one has questions, I'll give it to Ruth.
Does not look like we have any questions at this time.
All right,
Thanks, everyone.
Yep, thank you, Shannon, for that. Lots happening. So we do have some N95 masks that are available at the Pardal Center, so they've been put out. So we're going to keep them out there from 10 to 3 every day until we run out. So those are available now. And then just to real quickly about Pardal Carnival. So there is some talk about doing it at the same day as Earth Day. AB and IVCRC kind of need to get together to figure that out. Could potentially be Earth Day on one day and then Pardal Carnival on on the, on Sunday. So it'll be like a weekend of events, but we're almost there, but it's coming.
Thank you, Ruth. Are there any questions for AS? Okay, perfect. Before we go on to the next item, I want to just note some of the things on the chat. Lisa said in response, I believe, to Shannon's note about the flyers, that they'd be happy to distribute some of those at the food co-op and on the bulletin board. Gina posted that there are approximately 80,000 at-home testing kits that will be delivered to the county next week. The county, as they mentioned, is working with community partners to distribute them as soon as they arrive. The first priority is for those testing kits to go to healthcare providers and homeless shelters. And then they will continue to receive more of those kits every week until April. So that is great news to hear all of the different sources where things are coming from. Thank you all for that. Okay, so then moving on, next on the agenda is IVRPD. Luis, I think that is you.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to remind everybody that tonight we do have a board meeting at 5:30 p.m. So if you wish to join us, you can just go to our website, ivparks.org, and you can find the agenda. And the Zoom link will be discussing, we'll be reappointing our committees for the board, and also just discussing a couple other topics in regards to one of our projects, Pearl Gardens, which at the end of this month, we are going to be releasing a request for proposal, an RFP, to start getting a final landscape design and contractor for both of our children's park program project, which is our grant project, our $4.2 million that was awarded to renovate Children's Park, so we'll begin doing a search for a contractor and landscape design firm, and then also for Pearl Gardens. Both projects are kind of going to be pretty much on the same timeline, hoping to start breaking ground this fall, so in 2022 in the fall, and hopefully getting completed in mid 2023. So we'll see a lot of projects, kind of construction projects happening in Isla Vista. We are currently hiring for a chief financial officer. So if you know anybody that may be interested, again, they can visit our website, ivparks.org, click on the job opportunity tab, and they can find that position. We're accepting applications until next Friday, the 21st at 10 p.m. Is when that window will close. We are working, we were planning on hosting a community event to celebrate the grant award for Children's Park at the end of the month, but we are going to be pushing it back. We're tentatively looking at February 29th, and that'll be at Children's Park. We'll be closing off we got a permit to close off the cul-de-sac and bike path, and so it'll be kind of like a mini block party, and we'll have free food for the community to come out, some music, some games, some activities for everybody. So we'll definitely update this group and everybody in the community once we finalize that date. A lot of moving parts with COVID happening, and then other than that, I'm looking at my list here. Yeah, if anybody has, we're slowly reopening our volunteering opportunities. I know next Saturday, January 22nd, we're going to host a volunteer day. We'll be doing a planting of Anascoyo Park. We'll be doing one of the berms off of Embarcadero del Norte, kind of by Embarcadero Hall, which will then finalize kind of the renovations of that side of the park, and we'll be reopening the amphitheater and cool corner on the South Pond side. The playground side will still be closed for possibly a couple more weeks, but you'll start seeing some of the fences start coming down at the top of the week of January 24th. So hopefully people can start using the park again. I know it's been closed for a while. We've been doing a lot of work, but that volunteer day is going to be the last push for that side of the park, and then it will reopen. And other than that, I think that's all of my updates here. If there's any questions.
Thank you, Luis. I don't see any hands raised, so thank you so much for that report. It does make me think, between the conversation of the 3rd District Supervisor's work and the work IVRPD has been doing, that everyone's been doing, kind of how nice it would be to have like an IV snapshot, a retrospective, of just how much IV has changed over the last 7 years, over the last few years, and definitely even just over the last couple of years. It's been a tremendous amount of investment that everyone's been making into Isla Vista. I keep wanting to have a visual in my mind as I'm hearing all these things that are happening. So thank you so much for what you're doing, Luis, and for the work of IVRPD. Next, we will move to the IVCSD. Spencer, would you like to take that?
Hi, everyone. Great to see you all. Happy New Year again. We are excited. There's a lot of things going on right now at the Community Services District. We're moving forward with hosting an alternative event during the Deltopia weekend. And the goal of this is to provide a safe and healthy alternative during that weekend that people can attend to try and cut down on some of the unhealthy behavior that we have seen in the past during Deltopia. Our goal is for it to be really fun and exciting, and the goal is that it would happen at the Isla Vista Community Center as well as the adjacent streets around it. So we have a request for proposals for event planners that is out right now. It's going to be open until, I believe, early next week. Jonathan might have the exact date. I don't have it in front of me. And so we're looking forward to that. In addition to that, we have a committee right now that is reviewing requests for proposals from transportation planning consultants for parking to try and do a study of what the situation is in the community right now with on-street parking. How many cars are in the community? How often also are people using their vehicles? It's not just a count, and it's not just limited to IV2. It also extends to the greater area, including UCSB. And so that committee right now has been going through the process of talking with different community stakeholders about what they'd like to see from this sort of a survey. If you are interested in hearing more about that, I would be very happy to connect you with that committee. I think one of the committee members, Jay, is actually here. And so just wanted to give a little bit of an update on that. Another thing that's happening right now is we're really excited to have the Isla Vista Community Center available for reservation. You can do that by going to our website and clicking on the link that is either I believe it's the community calendar. And on that community calendar, you will also be able to see all sorts of other events that are happening right now in Isla Vista. And every time I go on there, I find something new. For example, even today, later this afternoon, there's virtual volunteering with the Goleta Valley Library, which is the library that services Isla Vista. So there's all kinds of great stuff, and it's a great resource for you all to submit events if you want to have or just want more engagement for your events. So I'll put that in the chat in a second. But the big thing that we're really excited about on the community center front is that we have hired a community center coordinator, and that is Maya Mushhadi Ali Reza. I hope I got your name and didn't butcher it too much. But Maya comes as a UCSB graduate, has a lot of experience in this field and also in marketing, communications, and community engagement. So we're really excited to have her. And I want to give Maya an opportunity to introduce herself.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I briefly introduced myself earlier, but I am really excited to get moving on some projects that I've been having in mind. So I've only been here for about a week, but we're already looking into bringing some plants into the space, which I'm very excited about, kind of giving some life into the community center. And in addition to that, we're working on weekly yoga and also a library cafe event. So that should be happening about next week, but we wanted to give the Goleta Valley Public Library, their mobile truck that's there, a little bit more help with foot traffic. So we're gonna have free coffee, snacks, picnic blankets. We really just wanna introduce ourselves and the space back into the community. So I would love it if anyone wants to reach out to me, talk about an idea you might have, make a reservation. I will go ahead and put my email in the chat so that we can get to know each other a little bit better. Another project that I do really want to get started on as well is getting some artists to come decorate the space. So Anna, maybe we can connect later about getting the ball rolling on that. So again, I will share my contact information so that we can connect and start working together. But I'm very happy to be here and hear more about what all of you do. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Maya. We're really excited to have Maya on the team. Very exciting things coming. I'm going to add one more thing. Many of you were in attendance for the Isla Vista Transportation Town Hall at the end of last year, and that's a part of the STEP process, which stands for Sustainable Transportation Equity Project. It's about evaluating all the different transportation methods in Isla Vista and putting together a plan for how to make things more sustainable and accessible for community residents. And that is going to be continuing. There's going to be a survey that's going to be coming out very soon that I'd encourage you to keep an eye out for. And in addition to that, there are, if you want to get more involved, there are monthly sort of steering committee meetings if this is something that you're passionate about and want to learn more about. So lastly, we are going to be launching a community newsletter. And so everything that I just spoke about and much more will be included in that. And that's going to be starting, I believe, next week. So we're really excited for that. Keep an eye out for it. And I think that's all I've got to report.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Spencer. Are there any questions for the IVCSD? Great, no questions at this time. And again, welcome, Maya, to the Isla Vista community. Look forward to working with you. We will then move on next to law enforcement in IV. And Ariel, it goes to you.
Thank you so much. It's really good to see everyone. Like I said, I haven't been at this meeting in a while. Gary and Tori have been taking care of this for me. I do wish I was here on better circumstances. Just a couple things I need to talk about that you all should know about. So one of them is due to a combination of retirements, promotions, and poorly timed injuries. We've had to move some people around at our station to try to cover different shifts. So Gary is currently helping out with our evidence part of the department, and Tori has been helping out with patrol. And so it kind of leaves me with the community outreach stuff for the time being. We're doing a few things to try to make sure that all the groups that they were involved with and all the people they were working with still get covered. One of them is I'll be working Monday through Friday now, my hours, so Monday through Friday. So if there is a group where Gary and Tori was involved, feel free to either reach out to them or reach out to me, and we're going to do our best we can to try to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. These are temporary movements, it's not permanent, but on top of all those things, it is also flu season and COVID season. So, there's no end date in sight yet, but it is temporary. So we're doing the best we can just to make sure that, all aspects of the police department are fully staffed, and, everyone in the community is getting their needs met, whether it be community outreach or evidence or patrol. So, it feels like deja vu because, similar thing happened in 2020. And it's as anyone who knows me knows, I love community outreach, and it always hurts me when that gets affected. But it's been it's been a crazy few years. So adapt and overcome has been our motto. And like I said, feel free to reach out if you have any requests. Just know that right now I'm only doing online stuff, digital stuff. So there may be a delay, and it's just me processing all the requests. So that was the easy news. The hard news is I have a written statement that I may just read off of if I can't make it through this, but many of you guys already know our former CSO coordinator passed away January 1st of this year. So it's been, his name was Rob Crew, if you're not familiar with him. It's been rough. It has been rough. dealing with that and just kind of working through that. So if you guys don't know Rob, he was our CSO coordinator for about 12 years, but he also did several years before that working for UCSB Library Services. So he was serving the UCSB Isla Vista community for about 26 years. And he's also just like literally the coolest person you've ever met. And I mean pick the word cool on purpose. You know, he'd always wear the shades, and he'd always be dressed to the nines and the suits and everything. And he was just a cool guy to be around, talk to everyone, loved everyone. He was in charge of keeping UCSB and Isla Vista safe. And he oversaw our unarmed wing of the police department, which is something he did for a long time. And before it, you know, that became the hot button issue, he was making sure that was happening, right? So getting our community to care about our community was what Rob was all about. It's especially hard for me. Rob, many of you don't know, was responsible for my hire. So he, you know, this would have been 2008. He's responsible for me working as a CSO, and then he was also responsible for my first promotion as a CSO. So when I became a CSO, it was pretty much because of financial hardship. I was having problems paying my tuition at UCSB. Applied to be a CSO. I didn't really plan on making it like a career, turning into a career, anything like that. And my funny Rob story is I'd been a CSO for about a year, and they had a all CSOs on deck meeting. And at the time I was like, too cool for school. And, I was like, oh, I have some homework and, I can't make it. And what are they going to do? Fire me? Kind of attitude. I was really young. I started UCSB at 17. So I didn't go to the meeting. And as soon as the meeting's over, I start getting like 4, 5, 6, 7 phone calls. And I was like, what happened? Like, are people calling me out for not going? I don't know what happened. And finally I answered one of the calls like, hey, what's up? And they're like, dude, like, why weren't you at the meeting? And I was like, oh, I have some homework, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, man, you got promoted. And I was like, ha, very funny. I literally thought it was a practical joke. So then I call Rob and I'm like, hey, I just want to apologize for the meeting. Obviously it was a big deal. I'm not sure. And he was like, yeah, it was a big deal. You didn't come. It was your promotion. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I promoted you. And I was like, what? And I was just so confused and lost. And I was like, didn't feel like I deserved it at all. And he totally saw something in me way before, like years before I saw it. When I went on to do those videos, Rob was behind all of those, supporting me, asking me what I need, and just pushing me forward. So he's always just been a mentor for me and a friend. He's always supported me. And I think me personally and our community, it's going to hurt not having him here, involved. He had retired, like I said, last year. But yeah, it's rough. Sorry, I'm rambling. I could hear it. Probably should have read it. I will go ahead and post the written statement in the group chat just so you get a little more coherent message in there. But yeah, Rob passed away, and I know there's probably people on this call too that are feeling that. So take care of each other. All these mental health practices that we promote, self-care. Times like this is where all that comes in. So I'm, I myself am trying to work through some of that stuff, and I will put in the chat the written statement, and I'll take any questions. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ariel. That was actually very beautifully said, and I think your emotion and your feeling towards him really says a lot and speaks so much to the person that he, to him about him, and the kind of love that he brought to all these different spaces. So really thank you. And I know a lot of people are on the chat sending you love and condolences, and we're all sending you in particular a very big virtual hug. And please relay our condolences to the rest of his, blood and not blood family, to the rest of the community that he has had at UCSB. Thank you for sharing that, Ariel. Okay. Are there any other thoughts for Ariel or any questions for him? And Ariel has posted on the chat that statement, so we can hear a little bit more about Rob. Thank you. Well, so that leads us into the final part of our agenda, which really is just an open forum, burning issues. And I don't really know how to kind of open this up, to be honest with you, because I don't have a specific direction, but I do want to kind of even take what Ariel was saying at the end and offer this time for us to talk about anything that matters, but also knowing the impact, that the pressure, the anxiety, the stress that a lot of us are under right now. The kind of, someone said, I think it was Shannon said, it feels like it's a redo of, March 2020. It's a little bit like just this crazy spin that we're in. And I just want to offer space for also reflections from folks, if that's helpful, for how this process is for you and what you're seeing and what you're experiencing and maybe what you need, if that is possible to do in this kind of a space. And so opening that up, and of course, we can talk about anything else, and we can also adjourn a little bit earlier if we kind of want to just sit with all of this at a time. But I'll open it up to you all. Is there anything that is a burning issue that you'd like to discuss? Shannon.
This isn't an issue. I guess it's more of a comment, but I just want to say, I think all the people on this call are the people who, like, you get asked the questions about what's going on when things get crazy like this, and you're expected to have all the answers. And so I just wanted to, like, I don't know, send love to everyone, and like a lot of respect for all the work everyone's doing, and just like, I guess, like, good energy, and like to relax, and like we don't have all the answers right now, but I think everyone's really doing their best to serve their communities, and I like seeing that.
Such a beautiful sentiment. Thank you, Shannon. Yes, thank you. Anybody else?
I've got something.
Great. Go on, Jay.
So the UC Santa Barbara subreddit is having continual influxes of people who are, whether they're anti-vaccine or whether they are even COVID deniers. And the moderation team there, which is largely at this point Britta Gustafson, who some of you know from her work on Isla Vista Local Wiki and being in the community in the past, is rapidly burning out, constantly trying to moderate the swell of disinformation or whatever you want to call it. And so she's looking for volunteer moderators to help. She has a lot of background in training moderators and helping people get into that. She doing Wikipedia editing very early and worked for a long time at Yahoo on community management, and that was what she was doing with jailbreaking and everything. And she's particularly looking for a current student for that, because they don't have any current students currently now doing the moderation for it. But yeah, if you know anyone who is interested in helping with this, I will put her email address or something here. Meet link on Reddit.
Great. Thank you, Jay. Do you know what kind of a commitment that requires?
She described it as being a fairly light commitment. Let me. Systems. Sorry, I'm not. It suddenly occurred to me that I really should be continuing to talk about this, because she's getting increasingly like sad about being the one person who's really doing a lot of that.
Don't worry, no pressure on you. If you would like, you can always send me that information too, and I can send it out to the group.
Oh, that's right, because I actually had then sent it to there's a group me that people use for EcoVista stuff, and I'd sent a copy of the information there. I really just summarized it there though, which is effectively what I've summarized here. So yeah, I'm putting the information about her in the chat here.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that info, Jay. I don't see any other hands up, so I think that maybe we can, oh, thank you, Joan, again. As Joan heads out, one last wave. Goodbye, Joan. Just for now, we'll see you soon. I'm thinking that maybe what I would ask you all as we get ready to wrap up is anything that stands out for you as something that you are doing for self-care or for community care that might be a good reminder to somebody else about how to make sure that they're taking care of themselves right now. I will tell you that I have been making the most out of these meditation apps. I am really trying to get on my streak and do like weeks without stop. So that is, I love it. And it does put me to sleep too sometimes, which is good at night. Maybe not, in the middle of a meeting, but definitely at nighttime. I've been using those apps really well. Is there anything else that anyone would share about something you're doing, self-care, community care?
I'll share one. I'm trying to remind myself to get away from the screen and go outside as much as possible, and whenever possible, even if it's the evenings and it's dark. There's still times that we can find to just get in, whether it's exercise or just being in fresh air. Especially now with like COVID coming back, it can be hard. It can be easy for us to kind of slip back into that mindset of how things were in 2020. But I find getting outside is very helpful.
That's a great point. And especially now that the rain has stopped a little bit, right? When it was raining so much, it's easy to kind of just get into the mode of being in the house. So thank you for that, Spencer. Anybody else? Last chance. Okay, Lisa.
Okay, just to add to Spencer's, which is so important to get off the screen and get outside, but also maybe turn off your screens a little bit earlier at night so you can get a better night's sleep. Because sometimes if we're scrolling late at night or later into the night, it's harder to sleep, and you're worth it to sleep. And one other thing that I read in the LA Times this week that the health department leader is suggesting is just for the next couple of weeks for people to avoid like non-essential public gatherings where you might be out around a group of people without masks, just for the next couple of weeks, so we can kind of tame the Omicron surge a little bit. Might be good for all of us as well. So do what you can to stay healthy.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. And Ash noted on the chat that if anyone wants to help in a garden, let them know and they can forward you opportunities to be involved with some gardening. That's such a nice thing too, to get your hands in the dirt is such a good feeling and good connection. The other thing that's a really good thing, I think, is to actually end meetings a little bit earlier than scheduled so that you give yourself some extra time. John, I see your hand up.
One last thing I forgot is that EcoVista will hold its first General Assembly of 2022 this Friday at noon on Zoom, and I will quickly try to put the link in the chat for you.
Oh, beautiful. Great. That is great to hear. Thank you. And so please, you all make sure that you look at the chat. There's some good stuff up there. We can leave this up for another couple of minutes just so that you have that information if you need it, just so you don't feel rushed. But in the meantime, in between time, thank you all so much again for doing what you do, for being here at our monthly meetings. And we will see each other again in another month, if not before then. Take good care, y'all. Oh, Jay.
I found the information from Britta on the like a description of it and the issue, and like there's a normal attrition process where people graduate and tend to lose interest in moderating. We're down to a small crew. I could use help, especially with handling COVID misinformation. Volunteer role description for a few minutes every couple days, ideally 1 to 2 hours a week, but no specific commitment. Check the reported comments and then decide what to do with them. Remove them, approve them, give somebody a temporary or permanent ban, etc. Skim recent posts and check comments on anything that looks controversial. If you need help making a call on something, write a message to. Oh, I see it got cut off. Fellow mods, Jen. And here we go, it's the rest of it. Other than removing and countering bad COVID-related claims, typical things include removing spam and removing posts from students and asking how to get fake IDs.
Wonderful. Lots of good info in that chat. Okay, thank you all. Take care. See you later.